Hi guys, and today I'm going to be reading Horrid Henry and the Christmas Cracker. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like this book, and hope you enjoy. Chapter 1. Horrid Henry's Christmas Play. A cold, dark day in November. 37 days till Christmas. Horrid Henry slumped on the carpet and whirled the clock to go faster. Only 5 more minutes till home time. Already, Horrid Henry could taste them crisps. He'd be sneaking from the cupboard. Miss Battleaxe drowned on about school dinners. Yuck. The new drinking fountain. Blah, blah, blah. Maths homework. Blah, blah, blah. The school Christmas play. Blah, blah. What? Did Miss Battleaxe just... What did Miss Battleaxe just say? There you go. There's a picture. Christmas play? Horrid Henry sat up. This is a brand new play with singing and dancing, continued Miss Battleaxe. And both the older and the younger children are taking part this year. Singing? Dancing? Showing off in front of the whole school. Years ago, when Henry was in the infant class, he played 8 sheep in the nativity play and had snatched the baby from the mayor and refused to hand him back. Henry hoped Miss Battleaxe wouldn't remember, because Henry had to play the lead. Henry had to. Who else would be all singing and dancing? Joseph. I want to be Mary, shouted every girl in the class. I want to be a wise man, shouted Rudolph. I want to be a sheep, shouted Andrew. I want to be Joseph, shouted Henry. No, me, shouted Jazzy Jim. Me, shouted Brainy Brian. Quiet, shrieked Miss Battleaxe. I'm the director, and my decision about who will act in this part is final. I've cast the plays as the followers. Margaret, you will be Mary. She handed her a thick script. Moody Margaret whooped with joy. All the other girls glared at her. Susan, front legs of the donkey. Linda, hind legs of the cow. Flora and Claire, blades of glass. Miss Battleaxe continued, assigning parts. Pick me for Joseph! Pick me for Joseph! Horrid Henry begged silently. Who better than an actor in the part of the school play, starring the part? I'm a sheep! I'm a sheep! I'm a beautiful sheep! Warbled singing Sora. I'm a shepherd, beamed Jolly Josh. I'm an angel, shrilled Magic Martha. I'm a blade of grass, sobbed Wilby William. Joseph will be played by... Oh, me! Screamed Horrid Henry. Me! Screamed New Nick, Greedy Graham, Dizzy Derv, and a robotic girl. Peter! Said Miss Battleaxe from Miss Lovely's class. Henry felt as if he's been punched in the stomach. Perfect Peter, his younger brother. Perfect Peter gets the starring part. It's not fair, howled Horrid Henry. Henry, you're... Miss Battleaxe consulted his list. Please not a blade of grass. Please not a blade of grass, prayed Horrid Henry, thinking that would be just like Miss Battleaxe to humiliate him. Anything but that. The innkeeper! The innkeeper! Horrid Henry sat up, beaming. How stupid he'd been. The innkeeper must be the starring part. Henry could see himself now, pushing grasses, throwing darts, pouring out a big, happy, foaming fizzy whiz drinks to all his happy customers while singing a song about the joys of innkeeping. Then he'd get into a nice long argument about why there was no room in the inn, and finally the chance to slam the door in Moody Margaret's face after he'd pushed her away. Wow, maybe he would get a second song. 10 green bottles would fit right into the story. He'd sing and dance while knocking his less talented classmates off the wall. Wouldn't that be fun? Miss Battleaxe handed a page to Henry. Your script, said Henry. Henry was puzzled. Sure there were some pages missing. He read it. Joseph knocks. The innkeeper opens the door. Joseph. Is there any room in the inn? Innkeeper. No. Innkeeper shuts the door. Horrid Henry turns over the page. It's blank. He held it up to the light. There was no secret writing. That was it. His entire plot was one line. One stupid, puny line. Not even a line. A word. No. Where was his song? Where was his dance with the green bottles and his guests at the inn? How could he, Horrid Henry, be the best actor in the class, and indeed the world? He had just been given one word in the school play. Even the donkeys got a song. Worse after he said his one word, Perfect Peter and Moody Margaret got to yak for hours about managers and the wise men and shepherds and sheep, and then singing a duet while he, Henry, hung about behind the hay with the blades of grass. It was so unfair. He should be the star of the show, not his stupid worm of a brother. Why on earth was Peter cast as Joseph anyway? He was a terrible actor. He couldn't sing. He was squished like a toad. And why was Margaret playing Mary? Now she'd never stop bragging and swaggering. Ah! Isn't this exciting? Said Mum. Isn't it thrilling? Said Dad. Our little boy, star of the show. Well done, Peter. I'm so proud of you, said Dad. Perfect Peter smiled mostly. Of course, I'm not really the star of the show, he said. Everyone's important, even the little parts, like the blades of grass and the innkeeper. Horrid Henry pounced. He was a great white shark lunging for the kill. Ah! Squealed Peter. Henry bit me. Henry, don't be horrid, snapped Mum. Henry, go to your room, snapped Dad. Horrid Henry stomped upstairs, slammed the door. How could he bear when Peter was the star? He'd just have to force Peter to switch roles with him. Henry was sure he could find a way to persuade Peter of switching roles with him. But persuading Miss Battleaxe was a different matter. Miss Battleaxe had a mean, horrible way of never doing what Henry wanted. Maybe he could trick Peter into leaving the show. Yes, and then nobody offered to replace him. And then Horrid Henry had a brilliant idea. Spectacular. Why hadn't he thought of this before? He could make a bigger part. He'd have to just make his part bigger. For instance, he could scream, "No!" That would get a reaction. Or he would bellow, "No!" and then hit Joseph. I'm an angry innkeeper, thought Horrid Henry, and I hate guests coming into my inn. Especially Mary and Joseph. Or he could be a French robber pirate innkeeper, so he could shout, "Non!" tie Mary and Joseph and make them walk the plank. Thought Horrid Henry. Maybe my part won't be so small after all. The innkeeper was the most important character. Peter and Margaret waited on the side to make their big entrance as Mary and Joseph. Isn't it exciting? Henry being in a real play, whispered Peter. No, snarled Henry. Places, everyone! For the opening song, hissed Miss Battleaxe. Now remember, don't worry if you make a little mistake. Just carry on and no one will notice. But I still think I should have an argument with Mary and Joseph about whether there's a room, said Henry. Shouldn't I at least check to see? No, snapped Miss Battleaxe, glaring at him. If I hear another peep from you, Henry, you will sit behind the bales of hay, and Jim will play your part. Blades of grass. Line up with the donkeys. Sheep, get ready to bar. Bert, are you a sheep or a blade of grass? I don't know, said Beefy Bert. Knock, knock, knock. The innkeeper stepped away and opened the door. There was Moody Margaret skimping away as Mary, and Peter Perfect, looking full of himself as Joseph. Is there any room at the inn? Said Joseph. Good question, thought Horrid Henry. His mind was blank. He thought so many great things. He could say what he was supposed to say. Had just gone straight out of his head. Is there any room at the inn? Repeated Joseph loudly. Yes, said the innkeeper. Come on in. Joseph looked at Mary. Mary looked at Joseph. The audience murmured. Oops, thought Horrid Henry. Now he remembered he was supposed to say no. Oh well. In for a penny, in for a pound. The innkeeper grabbed Mary and Joseph's sleeves and yanked them through the door. Come on in. I haven't got all day. But, the inn's full, Mary said. No, it isn't, said the innkeeper. Is to, is not. It's my inn, and I should know. It's the great inn in Belsham. We've got TVs, beds, and... The innkeeper paused for a moment. What did inns have in them? And computers. Mary glanced at the innkeeper. The innkeeper glanced at Mary. Miss Battleaxe gasped frantically from her wings. I'll sing you a song. And the innkeeper started singing. 10 green bottles standing on a wall. 10 green bottles standing on a wall. And if one green bottle should accidentally fall. Ah! Moaned Mary. I'm having the baby. Can't you wait till I'm finished my song? Snapped the innkeeper. No! Bellowed Mary. Miss Battleaxe drew her hands across her throat. Miss Battleaxe ran on stage and nabbed him. Thank you, innkeeper. Your other guests need you now, said Miss Battleaxe, grabbing him by the collar. Merry Christmas, shrieked Horrid Henry as he yanked off the stage. Bravo, yelled Moody Margaret's deaf aunt. Mum and Dad weren't sure what to do. Should they clap or run away to a place where no one knew them? Mum clapped. Dad hid his face in his hands. Do you think anyone noticed? Whispered Mum. Dad looked at Miss Oddbod's grim face. He sank down in his chair. Maybe for one day he'll learn how to make himself invisible. What was he supposed to do? Said Horrid Henry after in his Miss Oddbod's voice. It's not my fault I forgot my line. Miss Battleaxe said not to worry if we made a mistake and just carry on. Could he help it if a star was born? Henry, a star is born. Thank you guys. That's the end of the book. And if you want to get this book and read more chapters, there's 3 more chapters that I haven't read to you. But let me just into a secret. I don't like reading out loud. So if you want this book, I would go and get it. It is It was £5. Go and get it. And I hope you enjoyed. Bye. See you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye.